Hey, welcome! Today we're diving into the story of a silent killer, one that's hiding in plain sight and causing billion-dollar problems for one of our favorite foods. We're talking about AHPND, a massive, hidden threat to the world's shrimp supply. You know that feeling, right? Summer's finally here, you head to the coast, feel the sun on your skin, hear the waves, it's just perfect. And come on, what's a perfect beach tip without some amazing seafood, like a big old plate of shrimp?
But what if I told you that in those exact same beautiful, warm waters, there's an invisible predator lurking, something that's putting that very shrimp dinner in serious jeopardy?
So yeah, that's exactly where our story begins. We're going from that perfect summer day to a really serious, unseen danger that connects directly to what ends up on our plates. All right, so let's pull back the curtain and finally meet this silent killer. Its name? AHPND. Okay, that is a mouthful, I know. Acute hepatopancreas necrosis disease. Phew. It's no wonder that when it first showed up, people just called it early mortality syndrome, or EMS for short. And honestly, that name kind of says it all. It's a bacterial disease, and it is absolutely catastrophic for farm shrimp. So, let's break this down. What are we actually dealing with here? Well, first, the culprit is a specific kind of bacteria called Vibrio parahemolyticus. Second, the way it works is, well, these bacteria are basically carrying a weapon, a set of deadly toxin genes. And third, the impact? It's just devastating. We're talking up to 100% mortality in a shrimp pond, an entire population wiped out in just 20 to 30 days. It's insane. So how can one tiny little microbe cause so much chaos? To really get it, we've got to zoom way in and look at the anatomy of this infection. Okay, so here's the villain of our story. Once this Vibrio bacterium gets inside a shrimp, it has a one-track mind. It makes a beeline straight for the digestive system, and then it just goes to town, multiplying like crazy. And as it multiplies, it starts releasing these two nasty little toxins, Pyra and Pyra B. Now, don't worry about the complex diagram here. The concept is actually super simple. Think of it like a key in a lock. The two toxins team up to create a key that is a perfect fit for a lock on the cells of the shrimp's main digestive organ. And once that key goes into the lock, it's game over. It triggers this horrible chain reaction. The cells of that digestive organ just start dying and peeling away, which leads to, well, total organ collapse. It's brutal. And you can literally see the result right here. Look at the bottom shrimp. That's a healthy one. See how its digestive organ is dark and full? Now look at the one on top. That's an infected shrimp. The organ is pale, it's shrunken, it's basically been destroyed from the inside out. The difference is just, wow, stark. So for the farmers on the ground, this internal catastrophe shows up as some really obvious signs. They'll see that pale organ we just saw, they'll notice the shrimp have stopped eating, so their stomachs and guts are empty. The shrimp get weak, their shells go soft, and they just swim lethargically. And then, the final sign? Massive numbers of dead shrimp collecting at the bottom of the pond. Okay, so that's the microscopic horror story. But what does all this mean in the real world? Let's zoom back out and talk about the global impact, because it is massive. The price tag on this thing is just mind-blowing. We're talking more than $1 billion. And that's not a one-time thing. That's the estimated loss to the global shrimp industry every single year. Just let that sink in for a second. $1 billion gone, year after year after year. And a number that big doesn't just disappear. It creates this huge ripple effect that spreads throughout the entire supply chain. You've got major shrimp exporting countries like Thailand and Vietnam getting absolutely hammered. For us at the grocery store, it means supply can suddenly dry up and prices go haywire. And for the people at the heart of it all, the small-scale farmers, it often means bankruptcy. It's a disaster that even damages a country's entire reputation on the world stage. Okay, so the problem is enormous. The logical next question is, what can anyone even do about it? How do you fight an invisible enemy? Let's get into the strategy. And I bet a lot of you are thinking the same thing right now. It seems obvious, right? If this one specific bacteria is the problem, why not just get rid of it? Wipe it out from the ponds completely. Well, if only it were that simple. Here's the kicker. This bacteria is what we call ubiquitous. It's basically everywhere. It's not some weird invader we can just target and destroy. It's a natural part of the ocean environment. It's floating in the seawater. It's living down in the mud and gunk on the pond floor.
Heck, it even hits a ride on wild crabs and snails. It's part of the furniture.
And because it's everywhere, our usual bag of tricks like antibiotics just doesn't work. The bacteria are smart. They adapt way too fast. And you can't just sterilize an entire pond ecosystem. It's impossible. So you're left with this one kind of scary conclusion. You can't run and you can't hide from it. It's always there, lurking.
So what do you do when you can't beat the enemy head-on? You change the rules of the game. You stop trying to fight a battle you literally cannot win. The solution isn't eradication, it's outsmarting it. It's all about early detection, seeing it coming before it can ever launch an attack.
And this is where some amazing modern science comes to the rescue. By using regular PCR testing, the same kind of tech we heard a lot about recently, farmers can totally flip the script from being reactive to being proactive. It's a three-step defense. Step 1, you test the baby shrimp before they even go into the pond. Clean slate. Step 2, you test their food to make sure you're not accidentally serving them the enemy. And step 3, you constantly monitor the environment itself, the water, the soil. It's like having a high-tech alarm system that spots the intruder long before they can cause any trouble.
When you get right down to it, the whole story of AHPND is just a wild reminder that behind pretty much every single meal we eat, there's a complex, hidden story. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other invisible battles are being fought right now to get the food to your plate? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for tuning in.